We're in Earth School to learn lessons, grow in love and compassion, and just enjoy life. Our lives were planned before our birth. Some people have plans that include living with profound mental disabilities. Their role may be to enable others in the family to learn love and compassion by caring for the disabled person. Or they may themselves want to experience what it is like to be a person with a mental disability. However, they are just playing the role in Earth School. Their eternal mind, the real person they are, is always mentally capable and healthy. In this video, I describe an account of a man who was able to communicate with the higher self of his son, who was severely mentally disabled. His son had never learned to speak on earth, but in this experience, he talked clearly and coherently with his father. Hello, I'm Dr. R. Craig Hogan, President of the Afterlife Research and Education Institute and Seek Reality Online. I'm the author of 8 books with the evidence you will come to the end of this life, but you will never die. I co-authored a book with psychotherapist Dr. Alan Botkin. Dr. Botkin had learned to help clients have afterlife communications with people living in the afterlife while sitting in his office. His procedure is called Induced After-Death Communication, or IADC. In one experience, a client named Jeff was able to talk with the higher self of his profoundly mentally disabled son, who was still alive. His son never learned to talk, but in the experience he talked clearly and intelligently. This is Jeff's story as Dr. Botkin told it, from the book I co-authored with Dr. Botkin, Induced After-Death Communication, a Miraculous Therapy for Grief and Loss.
Jeff's severely disabled 18-year-old son, Jason, had been diagnosed with microencephalopathy and had a mental age of only 6 months. Jeff told me he loved his son dearly and was very proud that Jason always perked up and became very playful when Jeff came home from work. Jeff came to see me to address psychological problems unrelated to his son, and we successfully worked through his issues. The therapy included 2 successful IADCs. In one of his IADCs, a severely deformed friend who had died was in his IADC, but he appeared as unimpaired and healthy. Seeing a parallel between his friend's condition and son's, Jeff asked me if it would be possible to IADC his severely mentally disabled son. I had, at that point, induced IADCs only to assist people in dealing with grief associated with death. In some of the cases, the patient's grief was resolved when they felt they had seen loved ones who were disabled or impaired in life appearing whole, healthy, and fully functioning in their IADC experience. I agreed to give it a try. I performed the usual induction, and Jeff closed his eyes. Nothing happened, so I repeated the induction process, and he closed his eyes again. In a moment, he spoke. "I can see Jason surrounded by a beautiful radiant light. My God, he's talking." Jeff's son had never learned to talk because of his severe disability. He's thanking me for being such a wonderful father to him. He says, "I'm here to look after you." Jeff sat quietly with his eyes closed for a few minutes as tears rolled down his cheeks. Then he opened his eyes and told me what had happened. Jason told me I shouldn't feel bad about his medical condition because it allows him to experience both worlds at the same time. As he was preparing to leave, Jeff said that the experience had made him feel more at peace with his son's condition. He also said he would never look at his son the same way again.
Jeff's son was profoundly mentally disabled, and his son had never learned to talk. But Jeff was able to speak to his son's higher self because the eternal person we are is never affected by the mental condition of the body. Our higher selves are always intelligent and articulate. The fact that Jeff was able to communicate with his son is further evidence you will come to the end of this life, but you will never die.